Alright, welcome to another episode of Flight Stream puta. Flight Sim guys. Ang ingay kasi dito sa cockpit na to. Regan Kai, Ride, how you doing man? Boris Ganchoki, ha? Happy Father's Day Captain, sabi ni Boris Ganchoki. Maraming salamat brother. Okay, hinaan natin ng konti. Ingay puta. Ayan, hinaan na. Okay, so patay muna natin background music. Medyo maingay talaga, hindi ko marinig. Okay, so guys, we're gonna do something different today. We're gonna be flying still the F-18 Hornet from on DCS World, I should say. And I've been spending some time with the Hornet for the past couple of days, and I think I got the hang of some of the basics of it, like taking off from a carrier, using munitions that's meant for air to air or air to ground, that kind of thing. But for this particular mission, we are going to be doing an actual sortie, right? So we're going to be doing an anti-ship mission today. Shout out kay Regan Kai. Shout out daw with an aircraft carrier. Shout out din kay Benedict De Leon. Maraming salamat po sa pagtangkilik sa ating stream, and thank you for tuning in. So anyway, let me describe the scenario to you guys. So we're still currently embarked with the Theodore Roosevelt aircraft carrier group here. So as you can see, we have I think we have 4 destroyers with us. Like this one, an Arleigh Burke class destroyer here. We have an Oliver Hazard Perry frigate as part of our battle group, and we have a bunch of other targets and static I guess like objects here in the theater with us. We have of course the Theodore Roosevelt as part of the group. We're currently embarked there, and ang scenario ngayon is that we are gonna try to clear a blockade. So we have a bunch of Chinese ships here moored in a coastline on a fictional island in the South China Sea that's contested. So it's very similar to what the current situation is, where a bunch of fishing boats are marooned off the coast of one of our islands, and they're basically saying we're just taking refuge from ano ba sabi nila from bad weather, when obviously there isn't any bad weather, right? So, ang intelligence tells us that they're probably building a base, and that's closer to what the real world scenarios currently are. China's probably building up bases in that area of the South China Sea. But there's also been a report of a frigate joining them in. So, at this point, we've also have a couple of merchant ships here, civilian ships that are being blocked by the Chinese from entering the territory. And the trigger for this scenario was that they attacked a merchant vessel over here. So that's the point where we said it's enough. We're gonna need to engage these guys. And unfortunately, these ships and naval warfare ship that has been spotted here is out of range of our sensors, right? So we have a combat air patrol flying here, and we're going to see if we can find that ship and sink it, right? Let's see. But yeah, that's a thing. We need to clear this blockade. This is a blockade clearance mission, basically. We need to make sure that these ships are gone, and we're not going to be able to get rid of all of these all at once. Simply because there's there's so many of them. It would require a couple of sorties. There's also a flotilla of naval vessels here by the Chinese. At least this is what we know. And what we're going to be doing is that we're going to look at a situation where we can destroy the blockade but not engage these guys, because this is a pretty formidable I would say flotilla. They have a destroyer, they have a frigate, and they have 2 destroyers, and the anti-air weaponry ng frigates are insane. So we want to avoid this range right here, deliver the package somewhere here, and then we're going to be using the AGM Harpoon for this particular mission, basically. And from here, we're going to be taking off again from the Ronald Reagan. I'm sorry, confused na ako. The Theodore Roosevelt. All right. So let's get started. Let's start off our engines now. So battery on. So that's on. We need to turn on our APU. Switch our multi-purpose displays on, or our DDIs. Make sure the brightness of our multicolor display is set. Francis Lai, you guys like the stream, thank you. And I don't know if I'm gonna make this. We have a lot of hostiles in the area, I guess. So APU is on. We now need to crank our engines. Engine crank right. And just see that it's spooling up. Okay, that's good. we're gonna need to turn on our oxygen, or onboard oxygen system, or OBOGs. We need to turn the bleed 360 degrees. Normal. Okay, so we'll just wait for that to spool up. Okay, throw at 30 RPM. It's good. What we're going to be doing is switching our throttles to idle. Okay, so that should further spool up that engine. And once it reaches full capacity, we are going to switch our left engine on. Sian Ibanez, let's conquer the West Philippine Sea. Tama ka dyan, sir. Attempt natin. Okay. Okay, so we are going to clear our FCS system, flight control systems, just by turning this around and pressing the RCS, FCS reset button right here. Right, so that's done. Now we can crank our left engine now. Gonna wait for our left engine to reach around 30 RPM, and then we can crank it out. At this point, we can also engage our flight control surfaces, and we are going to do the built-in test. Okay, so that's doing that. Let's set our formation lights, because we're going to be flying in close formation with a bunch of other aircraft. Our flight is going to be consist of 3 F-18 Hornets. You can see them parked here in the deck, on the deck with us. So engine is cranked. We can now turn on our, or set this to idle. So that should effectively turn on our engines. Let's turn on our radar. Operational. Let's put this to CV because we're on a carrier. Okay, no, everything is off na. Wala na yung mga warnings natin. I could clear this. Let me just give you an idea of our loadout. So currently, we are going to be using an AGM 84B Harpoon. This is a cruise missile, subsonic cruise missile, but it has increased range. It's meant for hunting ships. We also have 2 Sidewinders and 2 AMRAAMs here. We also have fuel tanks, external fuel tanks, because we expect this to be a longer mission. Alright, so that's good. So because of that weight, we need our stab trim, or stabilizer trim, to be 17. So kita nyo dito, we're increasing our stabilizer trim. Okay. Okay, we're good to go. 17. We need to arm our ejection seat. And we need to turn on our flare because we might need it later. Okay. So I think I've done everything correctly so far. We can now close our canopy and get ready for flight. Si Anhaina Ibanez said, Kap, ba't ganon cockpit mo parang luma na? Yeah, kasi luma naman na talagang F-18s. I think they've been in service since what? The 90s even? Or the 80s even? So a lot of this, are old. And they don't bother, I guess, like refurbishing the interiors kasi hindi much importante. As long as the plane can blow shit up, I think you should be good to go. Anti-skid needs to be off. And we need to go full flap, sorry. And I think all of those have been set. So, yeah, okay, we're good to go, I think. I'm gonna switch to my HUD here on this side before we advance. HUD. Alright, so I think we're good to go now. I could ask the ground crew to remove the wheel chocks kasi makikita niyo meron pa tayo wheel chocks. And we just need the ground crew to remove that for us. Ground crew, wheel chocks.
Request repair. Unable to comply.
Sorry, that's the wrong option. Wheel chocks. Alright, so tanggal na yung wheel chocks, or at least tatanggalin na nila.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
Okay.
Now removed.
Wheel chocks removed. We're ready for launch, guys. So we're gonna be rolling with our flight now. Okay. So what we need to do is sorry, hindi ko pa nakuha yung HUD. I need my HUD up. So we need our brightness controls. Here we go. Yeah, we're up. Nose wheel steering is activated. I'm gonna switch to nose wheel steering high, and I'm gonna disengage parking brake. Turn on my dispenser for flares and shaft, and with that I can roll. Let's take this catapult over here to our right. Okay, so this guy says spread our wings. And that should take care of the wings. Alright, stow that away. Okay, so we're good. We can now position ourselves. Okay, so go straight na lang, sabi ni Kuya. Okay. So these guys are going into position to check certain components of the aircraft to make sure that we're good to go. This guy's gonna attach this contraption after we extend our launch bar. And in fact, this guy's already telling us to extend our launch bar. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, launch bar extended. Okay. Now we can move forward with the launch. There we go. Launch bar is still active, engaged. So we're gonna wait for the shooter to give us the signal to spool up. Okay, we're going to military power at this point in time. Check our flight control surfaces one more time. Give that a shake. And we're ready for cat launch. So now we can tell them to proceed. So with a salute, we're gonna go. Cat launch. Stow our gears. I'm gonna climb to 2,000 feet and do a steady orbit around the carrier because I'm gonna have to ask my my flight to join me in formation. HSI, and I will do sequence. Okay, I'm gonna switch to attack radar now. Okay, this is good. Throttling down a bit. Autopilot attitude hold muna tayo for now. And ask the squad to rejoin us. Formation, finger 4 would be good. Let's check the deck if there's any other aircraft being launched. So we're waiting for our squad to join us, or our flight to join us. I do see radar contacts already, and I'll need to be aware of that. But we're within the coverage of the aircraft carrier group. So actually, you see some radar contacts here already. I need to check who those guys are. So we're just doing an orbit here around the carrier group just to make sure that we have everyone. Before... Oh shit, there's enemy. Master arm on. Switching to Sidewinder, slaving ACM.
Contact bearing 331.421.
Engage. That's a J11. Have a lock on him.
Strike, 2 o'clock.
4 miles away, switching afterburners on, or full afterburners. Switching to AMRAMs now.
Honey. 5, 12 o'clock. 3, missile on, 12 o'clock.
Whoa, I can't get a lock on that guy.
Altitude. Altitude.
Tanang aga nun ah. Did it splash him? Yeah, he's down. Shit. Okay, wala na. I think wala na radar contacts. Switching back to HSI. Rejoin.
Flight, join up.
Puta, muntik na ako dun ah. Alright, so asking the flight to rejoin us. Is there anyone left though? There's some of our teammates have shit. I think they've been down. So there's only 2 of us now. I'm gonna proceed on course. We're gonna go on a ship hunting mission. So let's switch to 80 nautical miles view on our radar. Let me climb to around Angel 17 or 17,000 feet. Or maybe Angel 15. We're now at Angel 7 or 7,000 feet.
Mud spike, 2 o'clock.
So the call out is a mud spike.
Contact bearing 283.11.
And that means that there's a surface to air missile that's ranging us. David C. has liked the stream. Thank you so much. We don't have AWACS information. I think it's out of range or it's not available in this current mission, which doesn't make sense. We should have AWACS, or has the AWACS been destroyed? That's also a possibility. Yeah, I don't see him anymore. We see a lot of downed aircraft here, so damn, that guy took out the battle. You know, the flight, the combat air patrol, as well as my anti-ship flight. So we're not off to a good start here. Yung mga J-11s in are actually pretty good aircraft. So let's continue down our path here. Continue to climb. Actually, our entire flight is gone, I think. Rejoin formation. Formation trail na tayo.
Flight, go trail.
So the only one left is this other dude. So I just asked him to trail me, so we could proceed on a missile run.
At 17,000.
So again, guys, if you just joined us, what we're doing is trying to clear a blockade of, PLAN or Philippine. Sorry, ano ba to? Pucha. PLAN, the Chinese Navy, basically. They're blockading these civilian ships from reaching this island right here. And currently there are Chinese fishing militia moored here. So it's a target-rich environment. We need to make sure that our harpoons destroy whatever's here. We don't have visibility right now, but we're going to try to find him. What we know is that these are static, meaning they're not moving. These are static as well, and this one is destroyed. I mean, damaged. So we need to look for a target here that prevents these, ships from from reaching their destination. So we're gonna clear the blockade, or at least damage the vessel that's blocking them. Okay, so we're gonna be traveling down our waypoint here. Actually, let me switch here na rin. Duplicate this to my HSI. Okay. Okay, there's our wingman. What's left of our flight? That was pretty intense. Kata-take off pa lang natin and we already got engaged by bandits. So flying at around Angels 10. Okay, so our waypoint is waypoint 1. And it's 76 miles away. My wingman is reporting that there's still enemy in the area. But I don't see anyone in the radar right now. If you look at here, it's clean. I'm scanning the horizon up to 80 nautical miles. And I'm sweeping 140 degrees left and right. I'm scanning up to 41,000 feet. So we should be good there. But let me get back on track or path. So let me just throttle down a little bit because baka mabingo fuel tayo. And malayo na tayo sa carrier group. So proceeding down enemy territory here. Let me climb up to Angels 15 or something like that. So we're currently at Angels 10. We're 11,000 feet. Let me prepare my harpoons na rin. So I'm gonna give you a lowdown on the munitions that we're gonna be using for this sortie. Just turning a little bit here just to make sure I'm on waypoint. Okay, so switching to stores, switching to air to ground, and I'm gonna be using my harpoons here. So my harpoons are on this pylon right here, denoted by HPD. And if I click that, it would allow me to program my my harpoons. So let me just my barometric hold here, or attitude hold na lang. Well, I configure this. So first, the mode that we're going to be using is we want this to fly low. Mas maliit yung chances for that missile to be intercepted if we set it to low. The terminal, behavior should be pop-up, which means that it would pop up right before it reaches the ship. So I've configured this already, right? Now I'm gonna step, and this harpoon right here to the left side, I want to do the same thing. I want low flight, and on the term I want this one to skim. So the first one is gonna hit the bridge area. The second one, if I do it correctly, should hit the hull of the ship to the side. So Navy ships are pretty tough. So it requires a lot of harpoons to down a ship. But our hope right now is to just disable it kahit papano, right? So that's what we're gonna be doing. Okay? So just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, this is the harpoon that we're gonna be using. It's a subsonic cruise missile. It has great range, but it's very, I would say inaccurate. It's precise, but inaccurate, right? On the other side, I have the same. I have an AGM 84D harpoon. And when I say that, it locks onto any target in the environment, right? If you release it somehow incorrectly, what would happen is that it has the potential to destroy the wrong target. And that's dangerous because we have a target-rich environment. If you look at here, we have civilian ships here. One damaged ship right here. So if it locks onto, I don't know, like a radar signature or heat signature here, it's a potential to just like destroy it. Sabog siya. And we have the Chinese militia here, the Chinese fishing militia. They're docked, but at the same time, we don't want to use harpoons there. Sayang naman yung harpoons natin for those low-value targets, right? So, switching to sea radar. Okay, so no contacts yet. I'm switching up to 80 nautical miles. Wala pa rin. But then again, look at this. So we're just traveling down this waypoint right here. We need to be at this end of this waypoint, and I think we should be in range there based on the mission planning that we did earlier. Okay, so let's just maintain this heading for now. Again, we have external fuel tanks for this mission, just because kung napansin nyo, layo natin sa carrier group, and the range of Hornets are pretty limited, so even lesser than a Tomcat or an F-14. This way, we need these external fuel tanks. Otherwise, if we need to, we can refuel. So we have a tanker right here. See? That could give us additional fuel should we need it. So the tanker is well outside the range. Nakita nyo, nag-hover lang siya here. It's outside the range of this Navy flotilla over here. Because if this tanker ventures in here, air-to-air weaponry will be engaged. Okay, so we'll go here. Let's just track our and I already see contacts on the radar. That might be him, but the problem is, remember, it's a target-rich environment. Meron tayong mga fishing vessels there that, while they're valid targets, they're they're not exactly like a target that we want to waste harpoons on. We also have up top there, I think those might be the what do you call this? Here, if you see here, those might be the civilian ships. It's hard to tell, so you kind of need to range it. What we do know is that yung civilian ships are stationary, and the ship that we're looking for is patrolling the area, right? So let me just engage my attitude hold here, so we can go down this path while I assess the target information. So punta tayo dito. Is this it? So I selected that, change the mode to RBL, step, change the mode to RBL. So let me check if that's it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's it. We're 50 miles away from it. It does look like it's moving. So, yeah, if it's not stationary, that's possibly the target that we're looking for. If you look at it, it's moving to, to our northeast. So that can be it. So I need more intelligence, so I'm not going to engage for now. So we're approaching the turn here. Once we reach a turn, we need to be actively seeking that target. Otherwise, we're going to risk, being in range of surface-to-air missiles from our, from those frigates or those destroyers from the Chinese Navy. Actually, I'm not convinced, guys. So I'm going to let go of this target for now. And I'm just going to secure another target later once we get closer to the area. So there's a bunch of them there. I just want to make sure that I hit the right target because I only have 2 harpoons. And 2 harpoons are not enough to bring down a ship. Let me check those other targets there just to make sure they're not being mixed into it. Yeah, that thing is not moving. So that's not it. I'm really thinking this is it. Let's range it again. It's moving at 26 knots or something. Actually pretty fast for a frigate. But I'm thinking that's it. After I make this turn and I don't see any other contacts, definitely. Okay. So let's continue down this heading. Switch views here. We're just taking it easy just to make sure we don't stray away from our waypoints here, because we planned this carefully to be just outside the range of surface-to-air missiles launched from ships. Ship launch surface-to-air missiles. So we're approaching the turn. Let me stick to the left a little bit. Let's make sure our flight is following us. Okay, he is. Approaching the turn. We're in Angel's 10, which is good enough for me. As long as we don't get engaged by surface-to-air missiles, so we're good. About to make the turn. Releasing that target for now. Okay, we're gonna make our turn now. So we have a very narrow window to deploy weapons, because surface-to-air missiles is gonna fuck us up if we don't. Braking right. Okay, so we have targets. Throttle down a little bit here. So we have a bunch of targets. I think we're locked onto the wrong one. I think this is it. Yeah, it's moving. 319 degrees, bearing 319. So I'm positive that this is it. We are in range at 40 nautical miles away from it. I'm gonna gamble and say that eto yung target natin. Okay?
Contact bearing 002.45.
So what I'm gonna tell my my wingman is to engage.
Contact bearing 004.45.
Engage mission, then back to formation basically.
Contact bearing 005.45.
And me, I'm gonna deploy my harpoons.
Contact bearing 000.
There we go.
50.
Booster 1 away.
Contact bearing 001.50. Contact bearing 003.
Booster 1 away. Booster 2 away.
Contact 2. On spike, 11 o'clock.
Okay, so we're being painted, so I need to get the hell out of here. So we released our Harpoon cruise missiles, so I can break now.
Contact bearing 319.140.
And we're just gonna check the progress of that missile in a bit.
Contact bearing 316.140.
I hope I hit the right target, because otherwise I might be blowing up a civilian ship
On spike, 12
or
o'clock.
a low-value target, which is a Chinese fishing militia shipping vessel or fishing vessel. I don't want to waste a harpoon on that. Harpoons and cruise missiles in general are expensive, so going back now. And we're gonna check our harpoons later.
Contact bearing 005.40.
I've asked my flight to engage
Contact bearing
and rejoin.
007.40.
Okay, so we're gonna maintain this altitude for now.
Contact bearing 003.40. Contact bearing 008.40.
Altitude holds good. Okay, so we're joining this waypoint
Contact bearing
on our way back to the carrier.
008.40.
But our cruise missiles have already been deployed. Can you see them here?
On spike, 5 o'clock.
So I set it to low. You see this cruise missile skimming low. And the reason for that is that we want the missiles to get the best chance to be undetected. At that profile, very few ships in the Navy of whatever country could intercept a cruise missile that's skimming the surface. They have Sea Whiz or equivalents of it, or you know, just like point defense systems. But at the same time, at that altitude, it's gonna be near impossible for them to detect that. And then what's gonna happen is that one of my missiles, if I did it correctly, will hit the hull of the ship, and the other will pop up at the last second to damage the bridge or the deck itself. Flight, go, engage. I need you to deploy your package. Okay, so he acknowledged it. So 2's gonna do that too. What I did. It's gonna run in. Lars Hansen said, "Civilian schmillion, kill them all." If only it was that simple. Geneva Convention, dude. Okay, checking our map here. So these are the harpoons that we fired. See them, they're heading to a target, and we don't know the location of that ship, right? So it's a possible that this will detect the ship right here and destroy it, and it's possible that this missile will stray to the right, and which it looks like it did. So it looks like it's going to destroy, you know, or locks into this fishing vessel right here. We're fucked. I think that was an ineffective run. But we don't know. We'll check it out. But my wingman also has a package. So we'll see. Okay, so 2 has deployed missiles. So we have 4 harpoons in the theater. The one that just recently fired by my teammate. He's getting out of the detection range. My missiles are away. I'm not sure what this is gonna hit. This one looks like it's gonna stray and hit one of these shipping vessels right here. But no worries, they're Chinese. Okay, well, I do see this one is in range. I do see that this is on target of a vessel right here, and I don't think that's a shipping boat. 7 miles away. So we just, you know, want to make sure our aircraft is stable before I dick around with that. Okay, so balik tayo dun sa view na yun. 5 miles away. It doesn't look like it's detecting it. I'm skimming low. And it is the right target. It's a 054 Alpha frigate from the People's Liberation Army Navy, from the Chinese. This is the ship that was causing the blockade, and the ship that shot at the civilian vessel. Looks like we're on target here. This should be the one that pops up, if I remember correctly. Or is it the one that would skim and hit the hull of the ship? It's gonna hit it straight on, or from behind. Should at least disable it. Boom. Okay, good. Good shot. We have another of my Mavericks going here. Sorry, not Mavericks, Harpoons. Okay, so we hit it, so at least we have confirmation. So we still have 2 harpoons in the air. Okay, so we just want to make sure we adjust here. And we'll check out the progress of the missiles in a bit. Switching to air radar now, just because baka may bandits pa. Okay, we're good like this. Okay, so let's check the progress of those harpoons. So my wingman's missiles are looking better than mine, so it's heading towards this direction. It looks like one of my harpoons hit this shipping militia ship right here, which is okay. But again, this is not like a target that you want to waste a harpoon on. Let's see. His missiles are configured to go fly high. This one looks like it's headed towards the right direction as well. So my wingman opted to, do a high altitude programming and a skimming, like Harpoon as well. So let's see if that hits. This one's pretty high. I'm gonna check my plane first. I'm not engaged ng altitude hold ko. Okay, whatever. So let's do this. Oh, okay. So good. We have the same ship in range by one of my wingman's harpoons. Seven nautical miles away. It's turning. It looks like it's gonna hit. It should have a lock at this point, so we're good. The missile we shot earlier should have disabled its propellers, or at least damaged it heavily. So it should be sitting dead in the water right now. 3 miles away. 2 miles away. .4 nautical miles away, no countermeasures deployed. And there we go. It's already heavily damaged. Okay, good. Okay. So I think that's good. We have another missile incoming. So I definitely want to check the progress of that too. So it's starting to descend. One more hit and we should be able to destroy that ship. We did lose a lot of pilots in this flight. We encountered some bandits across, the path of our carrier battle group initially. But let's see if this hits. That actually looks pretty high. Robert Denden has liked the stream. Thank you so much. So this is on his terminal face. It's gonna strike from the top. I don't see anything, so I don't know what it's trying to hit. But we've done enough damage to that ship for that sortie to be called successful. So that ship isn't going anywhere. We can finish it off later. Okay, let's look at it again. So, seeking a target right now. But I hope it does get to a target, because I think we've disabled the ship, but didn't really destroy it. I don't see any target in this region, so I'm not sure what this missile is trying to do. We did get 3 successful hits, and it looks like this is just gonna crash into the ocean. Is it? Yeah, there's no targets here, dude. So I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Or maybe not. Maybe it's gonna engage and seek more targets, but it looks like it's losing altitude fast. So it looks like we misfired this one. Yeah, this is gonna crash into the ocean, dude. But take a look at that ship. It should be heavily damaged already. So this is not it. This is a destroyer. Yeah, it's pretty damaged. So we can just finish this guy off in a bit, or have another flight, finish it. But yeah, so far so good. I think we should be able to return to base now. Yeah, we scored 3 successful hits using what do you call this? Using the AGM 84D Harpoon, which is what I was trying to do. And we are RTB. So now we need to locate the carrier battle group again and request landing, which for me is the hardest part. TACAN 71. That's basically just tactical air navigation that would allow us to spot the carrier, and it's right here. That symbol right here. And ILS, we need to set it to 11. RTB, and we could have another team finish that ship off. But yeah, so we heavily damaged, which I'm okay with. You know what I mean? In reality, ships are very hard to sink, so it would take multiple sorties to do that. So the carrier battle group should be able to deploy more assets to that area and finish them off. ILS is channel 11. Enter. I'll switch to my FCS here. So we're 41 miles away from the Roosevelt. So we can now contact Marshall for a landing.
Marshall 097. Marking mops 298 440. Angels 11. Holding hands with 067. Low state 7.9.
057. Mother's weather is visibility 10.
Hey, Tony Harris, like the stream, thank you.
Scattered clouds at 8,000. Altimeter is 2993. Case 1 recovery expected BRC 244. Report see me at 10.
BRC is 244. Let's just drop here for a little bit. Let's do a maneuver that could shed altitude.
057. See you at 10.
Update state switched out.
057. Low state 7.7.
I want to be at 2,000 feet, so let me just lose some altitude here.
Altitude. Altitude.
Okay, here we go. 2,000 feet. And we want to be at 350 knots. BRC is 244, which just means the base recovery course. I'll set that on Cecil, so you can see that pointed to the carrier now. I'll be at 350 knots for this approach. Turn on our landing lights. And this is the hardest part. You survive being shot at. You survive being painted by enemy SAMs, but I don't think we're gonna survive the landing. What's up, Captain? Salamat sa bonnet mo. Natanggap ko today before ka nag-stream. Happy Father's Day, Cap. Nako, maraming salamat. I just wanted to do a quick stream, on DCS. But yeah, thank you, Clayton, for tuning in. Oh yeah, I didn't wear my my beanie. Didn't feel like it today. Okay, so we're entering the pattern here. Let me drop to 2,000 feet. So I could already see the carrier there.
Altitude.
Switch to 10 nautical miles. Move all the clutter. Okay, so let's descend. So now we are RTB. Currently at Angels 4, but I want to descend to 2,000 feet. We are still a good 20 kilometers. Sorry, correction, 20 nautical miles away from the Theodore Roosevelt, which is our home base or carrier. Okay, Angels 3.5, 350 knots, which is the perfect speed. Actually, let me drop to 800 feet. I think they've already given me the go-ahead to switch to tower, which means that I can do my initial pass. My approach. Continuing to descend here. Lars Sanson says a pretty good replacement for Fortunate Son. Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? I see the battle group over there. If you zoom in, there's the Roosevelt. We're just cutting across its bow. 2,000 feet. I'm gonna switch to radar altimeter. Okay. 1,400 feet. At this point, I should switch to my HUD and also cage my weaponry. So master arm off, so we don't accidentally blow up the ship. Okay, 900 feet is good. Let's maintain this altitude. We're gonna make our turn in a bit. Still a little fast, so let me just deploy some speed brakes here. So I'm gonna make my turn.
Tower 057. Overhead Angels 1. Holding hands with 067. Low state 7.0.
So we're beginning our final approach now. Not final approach, but our final pass. We need to run the circuit.
Signal is Charlie. 057.
So there's the Roosevelt right there. There she is. So I'm gonna make a turn. So this, I'm currently downwind. I'm gonna make an upwind turn, and what I'm gonna need to do is look at the deck from there to make sure that there aren't any aircraft. Okay, let's do it. Looks clear. So we're gonna go our final pattern now. Yep, looks clear. We need to drop to 800 again. At around 1.5 miles from the TKR, which you can see on the HUD there. We're gonna make our turn again. A little slow here. Okay, turn. I need to do 2.9 Gs. So I could go to 250 knots. Okay, we're good. It's perfect. Okay, there's the carrier. Gears down. Hook down. Okay. We are 257 knots here, so I can do full flaps now, which would shed some altitude for sure. It's the hard part. So we need to be within that E bracket before we make our turn. Or at least I want to be. Amber light should go off. There we go. So we'll speed up a little bit here. Okay, we're good. Slow it down a little bit. There we go. Should be perfectly in the middle of that E bracket. And I could probably make my turn now. 3.7 nautical miles away from the Roosevelt. Okay, make the turn. Power up a little bit here because we're going to lose altitude. Roosevelt, time to land or die. So we're still fairly to the left. Okay, there we are. Change the attitude of the plane here to get within that E bracket. So we are in that E bracket. Just need to make sure that we are centered here. Too fast. There we go. Oh no! Fuck! We overshot it. Going around. That wire didn't catch. Fuck me. Shit's hard, man. Okay, let's climb to 800 feet again. I'm gonna do another pass at it. We're about 1 nautical mile away. There's so many things that you need to align on a carrier landing. Let's make a turn. Just gonna do the final turn. I don't want to do the entire thing. And you shouldn't. I think that's the proper procedure. Let's call the bolter. And there's a lot of throttle play involved. You don't control your altitude with the stick. It's this pitch trim and that kind of shit. Okay, so let's go here. Carrier is to our right. I'm gonna do another attempt at it. So let's give ourselves around 5 miles or 4 miles. Veteran pilots would do it like 1.5 miles away. I'm talking about the final turn. I wonder why I didn't catch it. I mean, we're pretty high. I guess that's really the only explanation to that, is that we're pretty high. Okay, so we want to maintain this attitude, which means the aircraft is pitching 7 degrees, like this, so the arresting wires or arrestor wires could do their shit. Okay, I want to be at this altitude still. We're currently 2 miles away. Okay, there we go. .7 miles. Okay, this is a good angle of attack now. Okay, let's try it again. Making the bank here just to make sure that we maintain level flight for now. On this turn, increasing throttles, and now we can make our turn. There's the carrier. Gonna attempt to do this again. Run ball. Let's decrease our altitude for a little bit. Slow down. The glide slope isn't showing up, so let me fix that. There we go. There's the glide slope. We're a little bit high for what we're trying to do here. Okay, so we're about on glide slope now. Sure the ILS is correct. Okay, so good alignment on everything here so far. Everything is on ball. A little bit too high now. Okay, so here's the deck. Shed some speed. Deck is in sight. Pretty high. Oh no, there we go. That's good. If we could hit the deck at this angle of attack, we should be good. We should be golden. No, what? Shit. Again. That was perfect. Kidding me? Jesus Christ. Again. Actually, I'm on ball and everything. That should have caught the wires already. That ridiculous, man. The precision that you need for this game is ridiculous. Sana may auto land na lang para I could fucking just do that shit. Okay, just take a look. There you are, you bitch. Okay, so let's maintain this. This is perfect already. We're within the E bracket. We're in a good maintaining altitude and throttle speed. Okay, let's do a 2.5 mile final. Otherwise, happy na ako maglanding sa tubig. Because I'm done. Jesus. Okay. 2.4, 2.5. Are my hooks down? Yes. Baka naman di nakababa yung hook kanina. Okay, ILS is visible now. 2.8. Let me do 3. Alright, let's go. Then adjust it. There we go. Make our final turn in a bit. Man, I'm still learning this game. It's so hard. Okay, so let's maintain this speed and make our final turn right about now. There we go. Decrease our speed. On ball. We're right on glide slope at this point. But we want to approach us at an angle. We want to be at around 750 feet per minute. Play with the throttle a little bit here. Okay, so here we go. Too high to glide slope. There we go. First the angle deck. Okay, here we go. Need to be lower, it says. Slow down a little bit. There we go. Rudder a little bit here. There we go, full mill. 3-second full mill. Throttle down. Speed brakes up now. High. Let's get out of the way. And while we're doing that, we need to unfold our folder wings. Is good. Out of the way. Emergency brakes on. Parking brakes on. Now we need to turn off our engines. Alt N. Alt N. Okay, so that's off. Engines off. Radars should have been turned off earlier, but just to make sure that we can use it again later. And we can just jump in. We should turn it off. Battery power off. Alright guys, so we're successfully aboard the Theodore Roosevelt again. It took a couple of tries, but at the same time, dudes, it's pretty hard to land this thing. Even that wasn't a perfect landing, but I'll take that. It's a little bit, I guess skewed to the right because I didn't get that angle. But at the same time, I'm pretty happy about that landing, even though it took me 3 bolters. We did successfully damage a lot of ships. or at least 2 ships. So let's see the after action report here in a bit, actually. So here we go. With that, if you look at our events here and you look at the hits, this CAP or Combat Air Patrol from China really fucked us up. So it destroyed the Combat Air Patrol here, and it destroyed one of our anti-ship flights, which is our teammate. There should have been 3 Hornets in my flight, but for some reason they got destroyed in the beginning. But let's look at that track, okay? And yeah, let's just take a quick look at that. But yeah, I mean, successful mission. We didn't damage the aircraft. We landed properly. I'm down. I just wanted to nail it down in the future, I would say. A little bit better. This is us earlier. I'm just fast forwarding it para makita lang natin yung action. There's a Combat Air Patrol guy taking off. He's ultimately gonna get shot down. And we have the ships here. Waiting for taxi. Well, guys, thank you for joining me on this short stream. I mean, that was a pretty good sortie. Next time, I'm gonna try to increase the number of planes on my flight so I could, probably totally destroy a ship. Destroying a ship in DCS is very satisfying. The explosion is huge. It goes boom. So let's wait for me to configure my aircraft here. Medyo tagal lang pala tayo dun. Do one more notch of fast forwarding here. Did I really take this long? There we go. Yeah, so I'm setting the aircraft here now. I think that was the part where I was explaining shit. But yeah. Should be taking off in a bit. There's my entire flight. There should be 3 of us, but one of us went down due to bandits in the area, so I closed the canopy there. And we're going to be taxiing into the catapult shortly. Let's look at the cap launch. My wingman is on catapult number 4, I believe. Doing my flight control surfaces test here. Should be taking off. There's the cap launch. Stowing our gear. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be holding a pattern until our teammates join us. But let's look at some of the action. Let's just fast forward it a little bit. So this is one of our teammates. Let's see what happened to him. Just rejoining me on the formation, as you can see. So they're rejoining the formation now. Let's see what happened to this guy. There's a missile that just flew over. There's a J-11 right there that was shot down by air defenses from the carrier group. There's another missile above him, and I think that's what's gonna fuck him up. He's making an evasive turn here. Fast forward it a little bit. Well, in this replay, he didn't get shot down. What the fuck? He should have been. But yeah, he's rejoined us on this flight. We're doing formations here. Climbing. So let's just see the part where we deployed our bruisers or our Harpoon anti-ship missiles. This is one of the areas that definitely DCS could improve on. That's their general replay functionality. Sometimes may nangyayari sa real game when you watch the track. It really didn't happen. Binago yung history. Revisionist replay. Okay, so let's just see where we are here. Moving down our track. There we go. Just fast forwarding it here. There's the rest of our flight. 3 Hornets on this anti-ship mission. So approaching the waypoint where we are going to deploy our weapons. Yeah, this is a good mock simulation of what would happen if a shooting war becomes, there becomes a shooting war between China and, the United States in the South China Sea. I mean, in the scenario, there was, what do you call this? There was a civilian vessel that was fired upon by the Chinese, and the war became hot. So this is probably the first few days or hours after an incident like that happens. So in this mission, like I said, if you're just watching this replay, we are seeking a Chinese naval vessel that's blocking or blockading civilian traffic in the area in the South China Sea. And we also, have some fishing vessels, Chinese fishing militia docked in one of the islands, making a base, presumably. So we're doing this. Checking it out. We're about to make our turn here and deploy our weapons. We're a complete flight in this replay. In this replay, we downed all of the bandits, and only the combat air patrol was destroyed. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so we're about to make that final turn somewhere. We're still assessing our targets here. Let me fast forward one more notch here at X4. So trying to designate a target there on my DDI. 53 miles to target. We're gonna fire our Harpoon cruise missiles, I believe at around 10,000 feet. So about to make our turn here, descending. This is us. Okay, so we're still waiting for that turn to happen here. It's about right here. We're in trail formation here. So we're doing this waypoints because we don't want to be in the range of surface-to-air missiles. So there's the turn right there. We're gonna try to designate some targets here, if I remember correctly. There we are. Switching.
Contact bearing 356.60.
What the?
Contact bearing
This replay is messed up.
Altitude.
Man, okay, so we'll need to abort this replay. But let me just show you what that looks like.
Contact bearing 356.60. Contact bearing 354.60.
I believe what we're meant to do is
Contact
this.
bearing 355.60.
We're supposed to shoot this ship.
Contact bearing 354.60. Contact bearing 353.60. Contact bearing 356.60.
What we're supposed to do is do this, right?
Contact bearing 356.
Launch cruiser and launch another cruiser.
Contact bearing 354.60.
And what we're supposed to do is brake at that point.
Contact bearing 000.
Man, replays aren't reliable in this game.
Contact bearing
But let's just do the battle damage assessment with it, and then we can call it a day.
Contact bearing 001.50. Contact bearing 002.50. Contact
So let's return.
03.50.
If you haven't already, engage mission
360.
and rejoin. So this is what happened here.
Contact bearing 360.50. Contact bearing 002.50.
AP out of control.
Contact bearing 360.
So let's look at our boosters here. So all missiles away.
Contact bearing
It looks like these missiles this time
50.
still won't hit their targets because they're still after that shipping militia over
Contact
there.
bearing 002.
Let's just see what happens if we forward it.
Contact bearing 003.50.
It's way off target, this one. It's after those fishing vessels. This one is also after those fishing vessels. This one's on target. There was the frigate that we were after. 11 miles away. And we did score 2 hits on that frigate. Yeah, then again, Navy ships are very hard to take down, guys. So you would need a coordinated effort to really take them down. Yeah, so this is one of the first missiles that would hit. Near the stern, I believe, if I remember correctly. Harpoon on track. Harpoons are super slow. They're subsonic missiles, but they have great range. I mean, I fired them off from 40 nautical miles away. Boom, that bruiser hit. This one's gonna hit one of those shipping vessels. That one has already been hit right there. This one locks onto that one. It locked onto the same one. It looks like it's gonna destroy it. Boom. This one is the one, I believe, that would crash into the ocean. Yep, and it's still the same. Alright, guys. So, that's it for today, guys. I mean, thank you. I hope you enjoyed, this short sortie. We encountered some issues with landing, as usual. But I'm still trying to learn. I mean, I did 2 bolters before I finally caught an arrestor wire in the end. But all in all, it's good. I mean, we successfully scored 2 hits, on a high-value target. In reality, what would happen is that we would have other flights with us to finish the job, or we would return for another sortie. But yeah, I mean, that's just a quick sortie that I wanted to do to practice yung what do you call this? The AGM 84D Harpoons on an F-18 Hornet in DCS World. I'm using the Super Carrier module here, and I'm using the F-18 Charlie version, which is another module of DCS World. Again, we took off from the Theodore Roosevelt, carrier, and what we did was, engage, bandits. 2 of us one of us got shot down, at least in our flight. The combat air patrol was destroyed by J-11s of the Air Force, the Chinese Air Force, and we proceeded, down our flight plan and our mission. Delivered the package. Scored 2 hits on a high-value target, which is a Chinese frigate that was blockading civilian traffic and reinforcing the buildup of Chinese fishing militia on an island. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Happy Father's Day if you guys are fathers. And I thank you for joining me in this episode of Flight Sim. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next stream. Hopefully, we're gonna... I'm thinking of doing a civilian flight next time. Medyo stressful pala to. Maging naval aviator. So we're gonna go to commercial flights next stream. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much.